Welcome to DKM episode 40. I'm gonna try that again. Welcome to DKM episode 40, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back from getting the ligma, and it's all fine, all good. I got vaccinated. I got a knuckle sandwich in my balls. It was everything. Everything's good. Everything's good. Gentlemen, I heard your last episode. It was very interesting. I quite agreed with a lot of things you guys said. I like the things you guys covered. But I will say though, because I'm a whore for this kind of nonsense, I gotta bring it back with starting the episode with Blizzard updates. Honestly, the amount of people that are leaving World of Warcraft is like in the millions. HR deleted a whole bunch of documents pertaining to the lawsuit. Investors are leaving. They're selling their shares. They're getting sued up the wahoo. People are signing NDAs left and right, and Blizzard is just like trying their best to keep their head above water. Honestly,
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if they make Vanguard more of a cash grab with loot boxes and whatnot. Maybe not even loot boxes. Try their best to squeeze all the money they can from it, because going this route, since Activision's tied in with Blizzard, it's bad. Even though this is on the Blizzard side, like, it makes me not want to play Call of Duty. Like, I
Yeah.
haven't touched Call of Duty the new season, like,
Yep.
whatsoever.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. I'm like boycotting Call of Duty. I'm gonna try the the newest Call of Duty,
Hmm.
the alpha that they have, but still, like, I don't know. I'm not pre-ordering it, and I'm not gonna buy it. So they're not getting any money out of me. No support, no love. Not from me. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
try it out.
I installed every Blizzard game on my computer at this point. I already installed Warzone. Uh,
Oh, so you uninstalled your computer? Nice.
Got him.
yeah, I made sure it never works. But yeah, I haven't done it because honestly, though, aside from their shitty company, these games are kind of ass right now. So I'm not gonna be supporting these guys anytime soon.
One thing about when it comes to Activision, at least with Call of Duty games, a lot of people say the worst season to play Warzone was back in season 1 or 2, when the DMR was still, the meta weapon where you can three-shot people from any distance and they're dead. And then from the M16 to the AUG, people got melted really, really quick. But with this new season that came out, and with last season, but even more so with this season, the amount of hackers that are on it, dude, their anti-cheat is garbage. It's just
Oh yeah,
nonsense.
yeah.
But they,
They're literally playing with the Call of Duty franchise, and they're not like
Mm-hmm.
they're
It's not
not
like
doing
Titanfall.
anything to fix it. Well,
Right.
the hackers are just shutting down the servers.
Right. It's not that
well,
bad.
that just makes the game unplayable, like
Basically.
completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when it comes to the anti-cheat, it's look when they released it on Twitter saying, "Oh, we deleted like 1 billion accounts." Yeah.
That doesn't solve
No,
anything.
Exactly.
Ever.
There's no Mac or IP bans. There's no hardware bans. There's nothing. It's just whoop-de-doo. You banned accounts. Next thing you know, you're in the next Warzone game, and the level 5 has 70 kills. Because actually, I think that was a world record. Someone on YouTube, I forgot. I think he's called Oh He Hacks, and he does this on the regular, making fun of Call of Duty and other games not having a good anti-cheat. And he had the world record for on hacks, the amount of kills in one game, which is 70. I'm not sure if it got beaten, but 70 kills by one person because he has hacks, and he was level 13 or 15 when he finished the whole thing when he won the match. Honestly, like, he's probably has like a 69 KD, right? And freaking
Noise.
Activision doesn't do anything about it. So, like, honestly,
Yep.
it doesn't excite me. I was looking forward to getting Diablo 2 reforged or remastered, whatever it was called, but with this nonsense happening with Blizzard and Activision, I'm like, eh,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
and that's the Blizzard side of it. Like, that's not even the Modern Warfare, or I'm sorry, the Activision side
Activision.
of it.
I want to play Modern Warfare because if they release a new weapon, I want to try it out, see how it feels.
Oh,
But
what
honestly, it's like
the C58?
the CX9 or something. It's called.
I thought it was called the C58.
You might no. That's from last season. That's for Black Ops. That was a Black Ops weapon. I'm talking
Oh
about, Modern Warfare releases their own weapons every
yeah,
now and then, like
yeah.
how they released
Oh,
the
this is the
Cyclops.
assault rifle. It's the last. It's the last of the three hidden guns that were in the code.
Right. It looks nice. It looks like it'll feel nice. It looks like it's very adaptable. But given all this
Right.
nonsense with Activision Blizzard, I don't know, man. It's just
No, man, it's not worth it at
Well,
this
let me
point.
wrap that up real quick, because I actually want to ask you guys something about like hacking and more like the what's the word I want to use, the the way that people use hacking as a form of protesting. I don't know if you guys remember this, but a couple years back when Dark Souls 3 was still new, there was an asshole who went around and he live streamed himself, purposely hacking Dark Souls 3's PvP. That if you get hit by him, your soul count will go drastically up, and then the anti cheat will kick in, and then you would get banned.
Yes.
But the person that wouldn't do it wasn't getting banned.
Mm-hmm.
He said, according to him on the chat, he said that he did it as a way of protesting to show that, hey, Namco, like, you need to figure out your fucking cheat system. You shouldn't ban the guy who's getting infinite souls. You should ban the guy who's hitting the guy, one-shotting him, and giving him infinite souls.
Yeah.
So that's the same mentality that happened with Titanfall, where, you know, Titanfall was getting horribly bugged, horribly, like basically, you guys don't know what these guys were doing. Like, the bad hacks were essentially that people would overload the servers, essentially. It's like DDoSing the servers with a bunch of bots. And when you do that, the game becomes unstable, you get kicked out, blah, 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 blah. Same thing happened to what happened with Apex. I remembered it too. I remembered it happened to me on stream where if you logged on Apex when these hackers took over the game, you couldn't get into any matches.
Yeah.
The homepage was completely fucked. You could click a link that says saveapex.com.
Oh yeah, that.
So that's a good question. Do you guys think that, like, if someone has to use hacking as a way to, like, bring attention to a bigger issue, because that's essentially what they're saying. They're saying, like, hey, like, okay, we get it that Apex is your money making cow.
Well,
and everything.
so here's the other issue with that, with Apex and like the whole hacking crew. They were trying to get jobs at Respawn because of the hacks. So it's like some of these people were trying to get, like, you know, actual jobs there at Respawn to be on their multiplayer security team. Which,
they
granted,
became gray hats. Oh, so they did the gray hat route where they acted
so,
like a black hat, hacked their thing, and then sold them the security key, and then they want to get.
Well,
hired.
that's what they're trying. Well, they're saying they're not going to unlock it until they do it, like until they give them the job. But
that's
funny
a hell
is
of a power move for DKM.
yeah. So here's the funniest part about all this. I watched an entire video about, you know, the Titanfall 2 fiasco where they took down the servers. The original person that hacked the servers isn't hacking the servers anymore. This is a group of people that are hacking the servers. That are trying to get jobs with Respawn or money out of Respawn in order for them... Because they know how to undo it. These people know how to undo it. They know how to, like, unfuck the servers. But they're not going to release any of the information until they... what's it called? They
get what they want.
Hire them. Yeah, exactly.
Much like with the Gigabyte.
So they're just fucking over the fan base at that point.
Honestly, it's the same thing with the Gigabyte hack, which obviously it sucks that you're being affected by it, but that's basically what black hatting is. But I wouldn't. Well, to answer Daniel's question, I'm sorry to cut you off, Kenny, but
no, it's okay.
I wouldn't mind it if it brings up a bigger issue. But here's the problem, though.
Yeah, exactly.
If you were to hack a game that is somewhat relevant but not too big anymore, I don't think hacking can do much. But it looks like in Titanfall's case, it might be pushing a lot when it comes to, like, getting results. But if we hack Fortnite because let's just say something happened, like, or someone hacked the Star Wars Battlefront 2 during the loot box fiasco where you couldn't even buy loot boxes, I'm pretty sure EA would have gotten real big into that, saying, hey, fix this right now. Maybe that might have put light into it, into the protest. But it honestly, I personally don't mind. Honestly, I would feel really bad if someone just bought Titanfall 2 because they played at a whole bunch at a friend's house or with their siblings, and then they finally have their own copy, and once they booted up the game and they're playing a multiplayer game, it's unplayable. And then they're like, what? So there's obviously pros and cons, but honestly, if the message is clear and the message is wholesome and it's righteous, relatively righteous, I wouldn't mind it. In Titanfall's case, I would not mind it.
Well,
I mean, like, yeah, if you're playing like an old ass Call of Duty game, like, yeah, it's kind of to be expected. You're gonna get your shit fucked with. But at that point, like, their mentality is like, well, game's done. Like, I'm talking about like before Modern Warfare. I'm talking about like World at War, Modern Warfare 1, things like that. Like, Activision treats those games as dead games. They don't release content for it. They don't patch the game. They don't really give a fuck. They just expect, if you tell them like, hey, my copy of World at War is bugged as fucked with a bunch of hackers, and they're like, at this point at Black Ops 3, they're gonna be like, well, pick up Black Ops 3 at this point.
Yeah.
Jack off.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, but even then, still, like, you gotta do at least security patches for your older games, because that might leave some loopholes,
Backdoors.
into your into
That's
your system. So even if they don't want to update these older games, they still have to. I mean, look how long, like, some 360 games still get patches. I think it was, what was it? I think it was Odyssey that just got a recent patch, but I mean, it's a bigger patch. It had the 60 frames per second support added to the PS5 and the Series X.
Are we talking about Abe's Odyssey?
No, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Odyssey, okay. Or I was still about to say Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, okay.
Pretty sure that's not a 360 game.
No, but I'm talking about, I mean, it's an Xbox One game, but it's still getting updates. I mean, it's last generation, and now we're already on Valhalla, and they're still updating an older game.
That's true.
But there was like an update for Halo 3 like 5 years after it had released, and it's like, okay, why are we still updating Halo 3? And then you think about it, it's security updates.
Yep, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Activision doesn't give a fuck about.
Oh,
that.
I know.
They're like, well, we drop it, we move on, we don't really care.
Yeah, that's because Activision is trying to just be a money churner.
Look at Fallout 76, the same glitches and the same hacks that people were able to exploit in the previous games, like from Fallout 3, from Oblivion, they still showed up because they're using the same engine on Fallout 76. So someone was able to use that exact same method into getting into the code, getting into what they want, and then sort of they can manipulate everything. And Fallout 76, although in the past they were able to hack everything to the point where you can just look at someone, remove their entire inventory, and just run away. You lose your Secret Service uniform, you lose all your power armor, yada yada yada, your rare weapons. Who cares? It gets lost. So even though now Fallout 76 is quite it's a lot better now. Trust me, I've played it recently. It's fun, especially if you're playing with friends. It back then, I don't even know why anyone played that game at the beginning, but yeah. So using the exact same engines, the creation engine, which I'm sort of not looking forward to the newer Skyrim 2.0 game that's coming out with Elder Scrolls 6. Might as well just call it Skyrim 2.0 because they're trying to get it as best as possible to Skyrim, because they're re-releasing Skyrim again with fishing. But if they're gonna hack it,
which was a mod,
yeah,
which was a mod that was then used as a paid mod. Yeah, that fucking fiasco happened. Oof.
Yeah. So with the Halo 3 thing, like, obviously they need to update their things, their security and whatnot. But yeah, it honestly depends on if they care enough about it. Because if the money's not there anymore, they're not gonna put effort into it. That's pretty simple.
Oh, absolutely, and the only, like, I just don't like the whole way Activision and like Blizzard, they treat their anti-cheat like it's just, oh, well, we have a blanket, here you go, look, we banned these people in your game because they were cheating.
Do you like us now?
Like,
do you trust us now?
Yeah,
It's like, no.
What did that fix? That fixed absolutely nothing. There was nothing that was fixed in that whole.
It's like the meme with the Cheeto.
They're like, here's a Band-Aid for your stitches.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's not a solution to the problem.
No, it's a temporary fix, and it's not even a fix because you're still allowing the person to play the full match and cheat.
Well, you know what? Since we were talking about Skyrim earlier today, guys, I want to give a firm round of applause to Todd Howard for surpassing Resident Evil 4 in the number of ports. Woo! So, at 1, we'll clap together, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, man! Congratulations!
Congratulations. I'm proud of you, Todd. Yeah, you did it. Woo. We love you, Dan.
I think it's just creation mods. Putting on it. I mean, it's
well, it's all 500 creation mods or 500 plus, whatever it is, and then fishing.
I'm guaranteeing they're gonna break each other as soon as it comes out.
Oh yeah. Well, I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna do what they did with like Skyrim on the PC, where you can just select the mods that you want. I mean, you can do that on console too, but it's more cumbersome to do it on console, and you're only granted a limited amount of gigabytes that you can use.
I guess.
No, I'm just saying it'll be funny because, like, with, like, you can't just play Fallout New Vegas, like,
Right.
just as Fallout New Vegas. You need the unofficial patch to get it running. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's true.
So I just think it'll be funny that, like, Todd will be like, I want this mod, that mod, this mod, and then it's like you build a house of cards, and then you just put a semi truck right through it, and it's just like, oh no, what do we do now, Todd? We'll sell it. Like, they'll figure it out. This is what they like to do.
I will say though, when it comes to modding in Skyrim, obviously fishing existed long before they even considered putting it
Oh
on
yeah,
Skyrim's
just like
10th year
just like
anniversary.
the survival mod that they added to the game.
Right, so,
If Ocarina of Time could have fishing, why the fuck couldn't Skyrim?
because fish don't like cold. Well, wait a minute, wait. There is fishing. You just become a man. You go into the water, collect fish. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, isn't that how you fish in Skyrim?
Technically, you're just hunting fish. You're just boop, collect, and then that's it. That's really it. But when it comes to like the amount of mods that there are in Skyrim, just the amount of things you can do with fishing, I'm pretty sure there was a fishing mod, not just a fishing mod, but a sea mod, where it opens up the shores of Skyrim where you could travel just the oceans and figure out what dwarven ruins are underwater and whatnot, and treasures that it has to hold. It's super immersive and super great, but just fishing, I mean,
Or
I
you can
guess
open
for
up console
consoles-
commands and just delete the water.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But these are just mods that do all that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys know about this. This happened about 2 weeks ago, where since we're talking about mods, Nexus mods were coming out with a new system where, hey, we're going to have an all-inclusive package where someone wants to, like, let's just say someone's booting up Skyrim for the first time on PC, and they want mods, but they just don't know what mods to get. So they go to Nexus because someone recommended them to Nexus, and on their homepage it says, "Hey, here, look for our own official Nexus mod packs," and it will download this package, which will download mods in the correct order, so it doesn't crash your game. And here you go. A lot of modders are quitting and removing their mods from Nexus because what happens is with this package, the Nexus mod team is not giving any what do you call it? Any what's that called? Any recognition
Ad revenue?
to the people, revenue as well. Yeah, revenue as well to the creators. Any what's the word when you credit? They won't give any credit to the
yeah.
to the people who made the mods. And here's the thing: a lot of these modders have on their Nexus page, on their Nexus account, saying, "Hey, if you want to support me and all the work I did with all the mods I created here for Skyrim, Fallout, etc., 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 you can donate right here." And when you get this package, you only got to click download it and not worry about anything else. You don't care about what mods are in the package. You don't have to worry about if it's in the right order, if it's downloaded in the right order or put in the right order because it already does it for you. It
Talking about
the
like
Nexus
an
team-
EMB mod?
it's okay. So imagine like there's 50 mods for Skyrim that you know that you're going to get, right?
Yeah,
There's
but
fishing,
I mean
survivor.
that sounds kind of like an EMB mod where they package like 3 or 4 mods into one, and then
Right.
you just select the options that you want and then you install it.
Right. And this one is just a full package. And the thing is, a lot of modders are leaving their mods. Like, there's just one guy who made a lot of great like artistic armor, and he just left because they're not gonna get any credit. They approached him saying, "Hey," like the email that was sent out was like, "Hey, we're going to start using all mods to put in the package. We're letting you know now. You're not getting any compensation. You're not getting any credit. This is how it is going to be." And yeah, for 2 weeks ago, people just started just quitting doing mods on Nexus and moving it to Steam because they weren't getting any recognition. But that's just with mods. Honestly, I'm looking forward for what this game has to offer because honestly, it seems to be only for consoles, like for consoles. Like, why would you get it on PC?
It doesn't make sense to get it on PC.
Which is why I think you guys talked about this last week about certain games being re-released, remastered versions being re-released on PS5, Xbox Series X, and on PC is the exact same thing. So like they don't get a new edition one because it already came out the best of the best because that's what it is with PC. But honestly, if this is coming on PC, I'm very interested to see what the numbers are like because
Oh yeah.
is it getting a PC release?
Yes.
Ill. Like honestly ill. I don't
Well, I
understand
mean,
it.
it's a free upgrade for anybody that has a special edition, and
Oh,
anybody
that's
that
true.
owned all the DLC plus the original version of Skyrim got the special edition for free. So
Oh, that's
essentially, it's
true.
going to be a free upgrade from the original
That's
game.
true. I completely forgot about that. A whole lot better than what a lot of the PS4 to PS5 things are
Oh
happening with
man,
like.
yeah, PS5. We spoke about that in
Oh
the
yeah, because
last.
we talked
Yeah,
about
we spoke about that in the last.
the Ghost of Tsushima
Yep,
thing.
We
in the
spoke
last
about
episode.
we spoke this as well when the PS5 was first coming out as well when it came to like NBA 2K, like
Yep.
their upgrade. It's honestly nonsense, but that's what you get for sports games, and it's just people trying to make games. And even then, like I think PC games are still going to be stuck at $60, right? And then for next gen, it's going to be 70.
I mean, that's what it's going to be for the new Battlefield.
Right, that is true.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure they
Yeah, the
only
new Battlefield. So explain to me this: we get the best version on PC, right? And we
right.
get the best version on Xbox, Series S and X, and the PS5. Digital and regular version.
Right.
Why is it $60 on last generation and
Because
PC
PC2 hasn't come out.
but not
Oh, yeah, that's
but
pretty
not
simple to explain.
on Xbox Series S and X and PS5?
Do you know why digital games and physical games cost the same? Even though it creates it's cost way less. The digital version costs way less than the physical version to produce and deliver to you.
Because gamers are paying for it.
Yes, but the thing is, if they go all digital, right, or not even that, they say, "Hey, digital is $40 because it
Yeah,
obviously."
it incentivizes people to just get it digitally.
Here's the thing, though, they don't want to lose out all the money they put into their physical delivery system, putting in physical, all the money they waste into it. Obviously, it's a dying
It's a dying media.
market.
Yeah, I
It's a
understand.
dying market, right? And they're keeping it 60 just for that. The same way how back then, buying a console like the first Atari cost $250 back in the 1990s when it was first released, right? Or 80, whatever.
No, 70s.
70s, my bad, 70s. That's $250, and people were willing to pay for it. That was the whole
Right.
issue with video games as a whole. Even though in the 90s, 80s, and 70s,
Well, let's not forget about inflation. Remember, that shit was not just only $200. And we put $200 back then, like, let me see, let me pull up in I think it was like almost 12, like almost $900. Let me double check here. Because I saw that thing with Donkey said about, like, okay, let's say 1970
mm-hmm.
in 2021. So if we put in, $200, that is 19, it would be almost $1,407.
Mm-hmm. So here's the issue with video gaming as a whole.
Would you pay $400 for Plaque Attack?
Yes.
Maybe.
One thing about, and this was back in the 90s when they were thinking about it, when Nintendo was getting huge and pushing the market because obviously they're the one that made video games blow up. They were selling their games at around the same price, or if not cheaper, than what we have now. The
Right.
thing is, obviously, as time goes on, Daniel just explained, saying, "Hey, inflation, this right." That is a real problem. I think the annual inflation rate is somewhere anywhere between 2 to 4%, or 1.5 to 4%, anywhere there. So the dollars has less buying power, especially when it comes to 2020's nonsense, where 35% of all bills that were printed were in the entire United States history was in 2020, printing money, which obviously makes the value worth less, especially since someone was working. So sure, everyone can charge more because obviously they need to make their money back, but when it comes to pushing that, it will turn off so many people when it comes to doing that. It's like if you're playing a simulator or like a Sims game or Civilization game where you just out of randomly just up the taxes to 25%, everyone's going to start leaving your town because no one wants to pay 25% tax. Out of
Why
nowhere.
hasn't anybody left California?
Well, it's just trying to make like a gradual
Yeah, no, I
sudden
know.
increase.
I know. I'm just
Right.
pulling your leg.
No, I feel you. So when it comes to these new games, their excuse was for both PlayStation and Xbox saying, "Hey, like the discs are going to be a lot more complicated, and it's going to be a lot more special compared to last gen. So we need to charge just $10 more just to cover our costs." But honestly,
Right.
at this point, everyone, at least to the most part, a good amount of people know that the disc is just basically a physical downloadable code that you put into your console, and it downloads basically the 95% of the game that it's missing that the disc doesn't have. Because these games, like, can you imagine Modern Warfare on a disc? No, of course
No,
not.
it would
It's
be
way
on
too
like
big of a
7
game.
discs.
Exactly.
Well, back in my day, we had to install our games with 4 discs on our computers.
That's exactly right. So, like, imagine everyone who's playing Warzone on disc, right? You need to change your 6 discs if you're somewhere in the top 20 players.
Yeah. Well, remember Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4? Like Battlefield 4 was atrocious. It was like 4 discs just for
That's
the
true.
PC.
Back in the day, when you uninstall World of Warcraft, you had to buy a box, and it came with like 5 discs. And when you're doing the install process, you had to swap the discs out. The same thing happened with
Yeah.
with Counter Strike and shit.
So
Thank God for
when it
Blu-rays.
comes to like the price of a game, obviously they're trying to keep it all the same 60, so it doesn't. It's honestly they're making their money's worth, and since everyone's used to paying $60 for one thing, and then they convince you to say, hey, yeah, $70 is gonna be the new norm because hey, we gotta do more work on it. Everyone's like, yeah, I can see it. No one's gonna complain. No one's complaining about digital games, even though they're cheaper, a lot cheaper to manufacture and a lot cheaper to deliver to you. It's no one's going to complain that it's the same price as a disc because at the end of the day they're getting the product and that's all they care about. I would be stoked, honestly, to pay $30, $40 just for a digital game because the process of delivering the game to your house is gone. So, but they're not gonna do that. More money, the better, honestly. So that's all I gotta say on that. I'm not sure if you guys know anything about the what was it? I saw this Instagram post about someone saying, "Bro, this new terabyte memory is smaller than the PS2 memory stick." Back when I was playing the PS2, and I'm like, wait until you hear about the terabyte SD cards.
NVMe.
Right. So like, a lot of people like
It's a stick of gum, literally.
basically a stick of gum.
Do you guys remember? Isn't it weird though? Because I always thought that was kind of crazy that like a 8 MB like memory card on the PS2 lasted me
Basically.
like my entire childhood.
For real. And then
Like, I never-
when the PS3 came out, I was like, wait a minute, hang on now.
Like I just never understood that. It's like, why does it feel like that little tiny? Like I get it, that these are like kilobytes of memory and
Yeah.
shit, but it's like I've never seen a PS2 memory card get filled ever.
No, it's because it was just loaded save files on it. It wasn't like it was storing parts of
Yeah.
games. It was literally just a save file.
That's a good point.
So
But
it
I
would
feel
probably
that
like
I-
save like a line
Yeah,
of code
to put you back where you were.
for that one game. Yeah.
probably it's like
basically.
the password.
Yeah,
Essentially.
you're right. Absolutely right.
I mean, then you look at like the 360 when that first came out. That had memory cards, believe it or not. It was 64 megabytes and 100. I think it was
But that shit would fill
it
up
was
though, right?
512
Yeah.
megabytes. No, those wouldn't fill up either. That was just to like take your profiles with you to a friend's house.
That was the main concept of it, yeah. And obviously all
Yeah,
all
that
your
was
stored
it.
memory on there too, because like, hey, I have the DLC for this game. Let me just pop this in on your 360.
Well, that's if it fit
Yeah.
on there. Yeah, that's if it fit on there. But that's why you would take your actual hard drive with you because that was also removable and easily swappable.
I wish we lived in a timeline where the Dreamcast didn't fail because we would have all these VMUs as like the standard for memory.
a screen on your controller.
shit was
That'd
fun.
be nice. I think Sony.
Yeah,
I
that
think
would be
Sony
cool.
has a patent for a screen on a controller. Like they have their own patent for it. Everyone thought that the PS5 controller was going to have some sort of screen when they were speculating, oh, how it's going to look, what it's going to have, and when they look up patents.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
VMU 2.0 Electric Boogaloo Chow Garden
Can we
Edition.
just
Let's go.
Can we just sit back and press F in the chat for the Wii U and having a screen on its
the
controller?
Wii U,
yeah,
the
it was
Wii
great
U?
system to carry.
instead of walking,
Yeah, the Wii
instead
U.
of the Wii U could walk, so the Switch can run. The Wii U tried to walk,
Yep.
stumbled, and then got up, only to get shot in the back. So the Switch can moderately walk at a nice pace.
Yeah, exactly.
And while walking over the corpse
it's
of the Wii U, and he's like,
it's
"I'll take all
smoldering
this,
corpse.
thank
Yeah,
you."
it's I like the concept of the Wii U. Don't get me wrong, because there's nothing more than just the idea of playing your game while everyone is using the family TV in the living room, or
Right.
let's just say
Right.
random example, right? I know none of us is gonna ever happen to any of us because we're all dumb loners in our own respect. But like, let's just say we're watching TV with our loved ones, and we just want to just real quick just do our dailies in our video games. We just pull out a little pad, play little games, and then put it away. Obviously, it's not gonna be so
Yeah.
well. Obviously, with the Steam Deck, it might be a little bit different, but um,
Well, I mean, you look at the Switch, and the Switch accomplished that in a very, very nice manner. I mean, obviously it could be refined,
by a lot, yeah,
but yeah, but it's still like it's there. Like the core concept's
right.
there. That's what sparked all these like miniature PCs that are trying to be like Switch lookalikes and pretty much do the same thing where they dock, well, not dock, but essentially dock to like a monitor, and you can still use it as a full on PC because you plug in peripherals into it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like just like how the Steam Deck is gonna have a dock and essentially be a PC that's also a handheld on the go PC.
I just I like that idea of able to like do your thing on the side. My only concern is
Mm-hmm.
like at least with the Wii U being able to implement more things into a video game if you were playing with more than one person can use the pad, the other person can play with the TV. I like that concept as a whole, but
Right.
it's not something that obviously is necessary nowadays because obviously the Switch has their own thing and the Steam Deck obviously is just a portable computer in handheld form.
Yeah.
um I will say though that now just things getting comfortable, like eventually cloud, what was it, streaming is going to be a thing. Game streaming is going to be a thing. So forget about the Steam Deck. You'll be able to play any game on your phone if you have proper internet connection or Wi-Fi or whatever. You just be chilling, be like, hey guys, like I know we're playing this game, but I like let me go to the bathroom real quick, and you pull out your phone. You're like, all right, here you go, all right, I'm back. Boop, 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 boop. Right. Obviously, taking an Xbox controller or PS controller to the bathroom while you're taking the nastiest dump of your life. It's it's very romantic, I would say.
I still feel like Xbox needs to make a handheld. Like I don't feel like XCloud's the right answer to their
I like
portability.
that cloud though.
Portability. I do too, but I still feel like it's there, but it's not all the way there because there's still a bunch of latency. So,
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
online gaming. Like,
well, I mean, it's just cloud gaming. Like the issue is that it has to send data to the server, or yeah, send data from your device to the server, back to the screen, back to the device that you're playing on, and like it's just it's too much. There's just too much space, too much time, so that you can't even like react or play a game properly unless you have the best of the best
That's true.
Wi-Fi, or you're really close to a data center where they have their server blades at.
I will say though that when it comes to just overall, like if you really want to take it to the next level, with the PlayStation 4, you can put on VR goggles and just play your games while everyone else is using the TV. Like it worked that way, and it was funny,
Right.
and it was so convenient. You can lay your head back, or you're just chilling on the couch or on your bed, just there, just looking up, and then just playing your game with your PlayStation controller in hand. Just no need for television. And I think the VR goggles had little earphones that stuck out, right? And you can plug those in. Yes.
Yeah.
So that was
Yep.
pretty cool. So
but I had like earbuds. Yeah, it
Yeah,
came with
it came
earbuds.
with
You could put in
built-in
your ear.
like headphones
So
too.
imagine
I
that
think.
you're just chilling, laying on your bed, you're playing some Sekiro, or you're just being the laziest scum of the earth. Just
But you can still do that now.
that is true.
I
That is
mean,
true.
you can just put like with the Quest, you can just hook it up to the PC, sit down and like mirror your monitor.
But I
Essentially.
want my frames and my hertz to be at the maximum value.
Well, that's the great part about the Oculus Quest 2 is that it has 120 frames per second
Oh, I didn't know about
screen.
that actually. There's not much about VR that I know.
Yeah,
I would like to get into VR.
they did it was like a 90
Mhm.
a 90 hertz update, and then they did now 120 hertz update.
Update like
but I digress.
software
I mean-
update because it was already part of the hardware.
Yeah, it was already part of the hardware.
Yeah.
They just unlocked it.
They purposely lock the hertz because they want to make the games run a little bit more consistently and smoother. Because when you get like frame rate drops like on like a 2D screen, yeah, it's annoying. But when you're in VR, that shit hurts. Like that physically hurts you.
Very interesting. I didn't know about that.
So
That's very interesting. Oh, Daniel, sorry for bringing it up. I just wanted to say one thing about Blizzard and how World of Warcraft is losing players. They're all going to Final Fantasy 14.
oh wait, you mean the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final
God.
Fantasy 14 that has the extended play demo that lets you play the award-winning expansion Heaven's
What
Word?
level?
Yeah, Marcos,
Which
tell me
level,
about that.
Daniel?
Yeah, hang on,
Level
Daniel. You want to tell me
60?
about the
Level 60.
freaking? You want to tell me about the
Level
lore,
60
man?
for free,
Go ahead. Tell
instant.
me about the lore. Let's get into this, bro. I mean,
Oh
Jesus.
fuck yeah, let's do
You might
it.
as well. You might as well just call like, what is it, Square Enix, and be like, "Hey, I'm going to be your spokesman for Final Fantasy 14 for the rest of."
Square Enix,
went to
please
Square
sponsor me.
Enix
Yeah,
and
exactly.
went right, and then he's like, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
So here's the thing, though. I'm happy that Final
Probably,
Fantasy.
spread a couple butt cheeks.
I'm happy that Final Fantasy 14 is getting a lot bigger because that means World of Warcraft is getting a lot smaller, and that's a good thing in my book. I've never once said Final Fantasy is a bad game. It's just not a game for me, I think. What's this one MMO that Amazon was releasing? Free World or whatever it's called?
Open
New World. New World.
New World. New World.
Yeah, like a lot of people are leaving World of Warcraft, like people with like veteran accounts, like 30-year, I'm throwing a number out there, 30-year accounts are just like, you know what, screw this game, because Blizzard is treating us like crap. So I'm happy that Final Fantasy 14 is doing a whole lot better, especially with how fat their demo is compared to like we talked about it before, but the demo on World of Warcraft is pathetic at most. That's being nice.
So is freaking Destiny.
That's being nice, and
So is Destiny.
right, but Final Fantasy 14's freaking demo, like free trial, that thing's insane. Like it's actually insane, and that's pretty freaking cool. I wonder if New World's gonna implement something like that.
I love reading all the tweets of like all these like classic WoW fans like coming in and be like, dude, like I'm in this new MMO and like I had to go step away from it and go use the bathroom. I didn't get one message to go kill myself. What is this? Like this is 14. We don't treat our players like shit. Of course, that's the very, 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 very small minority that does talk like shit. But most of us are very supportive and very friendly towards each other. Like I don't know how WoW fucked that up or how WoW made people like just fucking hate each other. But yeah, no, like when you play 14, everyone just kind of likes each other.
I will say though that when it comes to 14, the one thing that just makes me funny, isn't it cheaper compared to WoW?
I mean, like, are we talking about like just monthly
subscription fees,
like pricing?
Monthly, yeah.
Well, let me pull
I
this
think
up real
WoW
quick.
is only like
Let's see.
$10 a month or something like that.
Subscription price.
I was not aware.
It's $15 per
what
month
the price is
for WoW. For 14, I
Okay.
think.
For WoW?
Yeah, for 14, I think it's about.
Isn't it also 15?
Let me double check. It's like 13, I believe. Yeah, 13.
Oh wow.
I fucking pay this. Yeah, it's
Okay.
$13 a month, but that's if you're getting just the entry price, which it's what you should get. If you want the standard pricing, it's $15 a month. But the difference is, if you're curious, is like, okay, in with the entry you only could get one character, but with standard you could get 8 characters, right? The thing is though,
But it's not pay to win.
it's
though,
not
right?
that. It's just that
like,
here's the
more
thing.
content that's
With
available.
WoW, when you make a character. When you make a character, because it's still old-fashioned, RPGs, you write your stats from the beginning, right? So with 14, you could start with any job you want, and you could switch to any class you want at any time, you know? So with WoW, you had to make all these different characters, because if you pick a certain race and you want a certain job, like a certain class, you had to pick, like, fucking Tauren Shaman, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was what you had to do, because that was like Tauren was like Shaman was only available to Taurens, so you had to pick Tauren as a race and then go pick that as your job. But with 14, you could start like what I did. I started off as a Dragoon and then I switched over to Gunbreaker. That's 2 completely different jobs. All I had to do was just switch one weapon and then bam, instantly a new job. So I don't see the reason to get alt characters. I've never found any reason. Everyone's always told me that 14 has never been alt friendly. I know why people like to have alts, but yeah, no, it's actually cheaper monthly if we're talking about that. Plus, if you also factor in like buying the games themselves, because the complete edition goes on sale all the time with all the expansions and blah 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 blah. Yeah, it makes me happy as a 14 player. I haven't played it in a while, but it makes me really happy to see a lot of people are switching over to 14 because I'm having a blast.
I will say when it came to WoW, obviously the min-maxing was a whole lot different when it came to.
Oh yeah, dude, you want to do world buffs?
WoW
All right,
in
dude, here's
general.
what you're gonna do. You're gonna log in at the game at this specific time, right before raid night. Okay, you're gonna go walk half the fucking map over to a fucking war chief, and then the war chief is just gonna possess you, right? And then later, as soon as he possess you, log off. Don't play the game for the whole fucking week. And then when the raid night starts, then we go fucking ham on the fucking boss.
Right, so you have like different characters to do different things and different builds, and if you want to fight a specific kind of boss, obviously, I think the level cap was like what 120, because it used to be 80, and then they changed it to like a higher number, and you could do different things, you could different min max. Anyways, that's one reason why people want to do alt characters. You said that some people say Final Fantasy 14 is so alt friendly, but is it mainly because of the people not having enough things to do that requires min maxing, or like enough roles? Like I know when it came to like RuneScape, both old, like especially new school RuneScape, you want to like min max as best as you can, and some people having specific items, specific spells, specific roles.
I mean, yeah, you
just to
could
work
min
on that.
max
Like
in
even
14. It's an MMO. You can like with the fucking material and shit like that. But I'm talking about as like you brought up like world buffs for example. Like that doesn't really exist, and it's like that's the thing about 14. And I think like every WoW fan has kind of been like, oh, that's kind of cool, because a lot of WoW fans are like, yeah, this new class that came out looks fucking dope, but I don't want to like make a whole other fucking character to do all the same quests all over again. With 14, it's just like, okay, cool, you want to pick a new job? Here's the job stone. Bam, instantly you get the new job, and then you learn how to play as that job again.
much like with the Dark Souls series, I will say that I have a lot of different accounts for like just whatever I can get, because I have an evasion class, like three different evasion classes or four that are in the meta, and then the two other evasion classes that are not in the meta, like level meta. Like there's a range where you want to be in the invasion meta. Like you want to be low, like a specific level where you can invade low level and high level people, but if you get too high, then you won't be able to invade low level stuff. But then there's like what you want to build. Do you want to go pure magic? You want to go half and half? Yada yada yada. And Bloodborne, you want to go
Yeah,
arcane.
because with those
So
games,
like, there's different reasons to
you're
get different
dedicating
accounts.
towards the build. You can't be jack of all trades, because
Right.
then you're just not good at anything at that point. With 14,
That's exactly.
what I was just saying is
Go
like
ahead.
for 14, for example, like let's say you maxed out as Dragoon and you want to go back to you want to learn to be a Paladin. You pick up a Gladiator class. You start at level 1 again, but you get a massive level boost at this point. You level up like 5 times faster, and then later, once you hit level 30, I believe, you then later become you get the Paladin job stone, and then later, bam, you become a Paladin, and you can switch back to fucking level 80 Dragoon whenever the fuck you want.
I guess Kenny can agree with me on this, but it's one of the reasons why I kind of preferred Morrowind and Oblivion, because you're set
Yep.
on what you want to do. You want to be stealthy, or do you want to be more of a pickpocket? Do you want to be more of this? Maybe archery? Do you want to be like just a big brute, just be big and buff, no sneak, no magic, no nothing, and just move on? But
Yeah,
in
you can be
Skyrim, you
everything.
can legit be everything, and not only that, you can reset a skill where you spent 20 points on a specific tree, but once it's maxed out, you can reset it, get your 20 points back, and then dump them all in again, and as you level up, you'll get more points. So that's one thing like at Skyrim that really like I'm like, I don't. It makes the game a lot more casual, obviously, but obviously like what you said when it came to like Dark Souls, yes, you have to dedicate a build specific to this because you can't go back. So I will say that I'm glad that a lot of people are seeing how bad World of Warcraft is, because obviously a lot of people left World of Warcraft because of Warcraft 3 Reforged, and I'm happy that more people are leaving now, but I just feel bad for those who like really dedicated like their careers on this. It's like streaming. Like, wasn't Asmongold the biggest like WoW
He
streamer?
still is, as far as I'm
on
aware,
Twitch?
but even he's falling in love with 14. It makes me so fucking happy. You see this like neckbeard guy
Right.
going like, "Fucking cat girls, this shit is so stupid." Then he sees like your show, which is like the best, gonna be like, "Oh, that's my wife. I love her. I love her." Fuck. Yeah, he's having a
I
blast.
just-
It makes me
I
so
just- I'm-
happy. It makes me so happy.
I just want more MMOs, because honestly, much like with
Well, MMOs always existed. There's always like, I don't know if you guys remember the WoW killer term. Like, remember the COD killer term? Like, there was
Yeah.
so many
Yeah.
games. Like, this is it, guys. This is gonna beat WoW. There was Warhammer. There was fucking Conan. There was
WoW was
all
so
these MMOs that tried it, but
Yeah.
you know what happens is like They failed because they weren't WoW, and like WoW wasn't failing because of this whole Blizzard shit. WoW was failing because they were just not like
No.
it was just like going against this thing. And even with the new Burning Crusade Burning Crusade Classic, you know, people are like, hey, we want this game to be just as classic, make it for the fans. You know, don't do it. It's like, oh, we're gonna add cash shop items, we're gonna add level boosts, we're gonna this. It's like, guys, like. Listen, we know about. Listen, there's a thing called constants and variables, and statistically speaking, we see the trend of when you start adding this bullshit, your player base immediately starts dropping because players are like, "Wow, I can't wait to play this new expansion." But Timmy over here just got his mom's credit card, and now he's max leveled, and he's enjoying the raids and shit. And it's like,
Here's the thing.
now, don't get me
Go
wrong,
ahead, go ahead,
14
go
has
ahead.
a boost, but I have never met anybody who's ever used a boost intentionally. Like, every time I've ever heard of someone ever using a boost, it's never been, like, put in front of your face. It's never even, like, marketed in the game as far as I'm aware of. You have to go to the MOG station completely separate to find it. There's never, like, a button that the game will tell you, like, hey, you could press this, and then you could go ahead and hit max level. Like, never seen that in the game. Ever. But WoW... when fucking the new Battle for Azeroth thing came out, on the character select screen, there's a button you could press right there that maxes your
Hey,
character.
that sounds
out.
like
It's what's the
Destiny,
fucking
man.
point?
It sounds exactly like Destiny.
Here's the problem with both Destiny and in the future, I'm
Oh,
pretty sure
yeah.
Warzone's going to go through the same thing. But with
Wow.
WoW's issue is trying to keep the old, basically elite players that still like play this game hardcore, to, like even the whales, right? To keep the game interesting, and so they can keep coming back and stay playing their games. But at the same time, they want to bring players in. Obviously, Destiny had an issue with bringing players in, and they focused a lot on bringing more players in. That the veteran players just said, screw it, I'm out of here. So obviously WoW had that issue, and much like what you said, they only cared, they really focused, just to basically generalize what you said, they basically focused on the newer players because they want more a bigger player base, and then the veterans just ended up leaving. So I'm glad that, I hope 14 covers this well, and maybe even New World, as much as I don't like Amazon as a company as a whole. Like, I still want bigger MMOs that can be like that term, use that term, the WoW killer, because honestly, at this point, the best WoW killer is Blizzard itself, because it's going nowhere at this point. So all I really want is the either WoW to get there. Well, then again, all the things that's happening in Blizzard, either Blizzard is, there are other games that are going to be delayed real far because they can't do anything, or Blizzard's just going to go belly up and they have to restructure everything. And like, if much like with the Gigabyte thing, right? People got hacked. The Gigabyte got hacked, so people are waiting on their updates on their products. Their customer service is down. So imagine someone wants to play WoW and want to continue playing WoW, but Blizzard basically got restructured and they can't do any updates, any hot fixes, any bug fixes, any of this. So the player base there ends up just dying because there's no fix coming up. It sucks seeing this novel of a game being the king of gaming, I guess, for the longest time, just coming down crashing. But it's much like a car crash. You hate to see it, but you can't take your eyes away from it because it just tickles that part of your brain that goes, ooh, destruction. So yeah, that's really it for the WoW. Really, I don't really care
Yeah,
about
me
Blizzard
too.
at this point. But if there's any other big updates, we'll obviously cover it
Well,
lightly. But I'm so glad Final Fantasy 14
Yeah, that's nice.
is getting a lot more
It's
recognition.
fine. It's
Other than
just
WoW.
like
it's available on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC. Please play Final Fantasy 14. It's so good.
I will say the music's
Oh,
pretty
it's fucking
fire.
bangers, dude. I'm so excited they finally added the final expansion, like the recent expansion. Well, recent is in a couple years now. It's soundtrack into Spotify, and I'm fucking living it right now.
so.
Oh man, but yeah.
Speaking about bangers and things being banged, backwards. I don't know. This is me doing a horrible what's that called? Segue. Since you guys talked about it last week, OnlyFans
yeah.
is going away with their adult content ban.
I'm glad that my speech
in
at Congress
October
really
1st.
changed the
For real,
perspective.
man. Like, I mean, I wasn't opposed to them doing
Does
that,
that even
but
work?
you were, and I guess they were like, okay, so Danny said no, so we're just gonna go with no for now.
Yeah, because I
Asterisk.
said so.
I will
For
say
now.
though, like when it comes to speaking to Congress, I wonder if that actually does.
Well, I
anything.
could say an
The-
example that
the
did
views
happen.
of
I can't
Congress.
say one, not at Congress. I mean, I guess it could count, but Yeah. Well, should we talk about that now, or should you want to like talk about the OnlyFans thing, Marcos? Because I actually have something pretty.
Uh, yeah, just quickly,
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
quickly cover it. It's just basically, obviously, OnlyFans saying, "Hey, we're not going to undo adult content at this moment." I think I'm in the same boat with Kenny. Like, I don't think it's gonna happen right away. It's probably gonna be something that's gonna happen like over time, or they're going to maybe, perhaps, maybe open up a new link, a new side channel that is like a sister company of OnlyFans, but it's obviously owned by the same people who own OnlyFans, and say, "Hey, you can put all your adult content here. We're transferring it all over." Bibbity bobbity boop. There you go. Go there.
Bippity boppity
But
boop.
the
Let
main
me see
reason,
some
obviously,
titties over here.
right. So obviously, because of their bankers, just to briefly cover on like why it's happening. Obviously, their reasoning for wanting to delete adult content was because of banking interests and investors. They don't want to be associated with adult products because they have other Fortune 50 companies like Amazon that are being banked by the same bankers, and Amazon doesn't want to be aligned with this banking company if it backs up an adult business um, industry. So they tell them, hey, this is what's going to happen, yada yada, and boom, this is what happened to Tumblr. And yeah, so I honestly don't care. Make your money if you want to sell pictures of yourself. Who cares? It doesn't affect me. Doesn't affect me how I play Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't
Babe,
care.
put the
If
titties
that's why I
away.
don't
I'm
have
about
sex.
to do my
Sex,
5th chain link. Come on, let's
I'm
go.
tired of being
that's
horny.
right. Sex doesn't make
That
me any
meme.
better at.
I'm tired of.
Sex doesn't make me any better at Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't do it because
Babe,
it's a waste of
stop
time.
listening.
So
Babe,
all I'm
stop using
saying
your
is,
dual link skill. The shit
Hey,
isn't
hey,
helping.
Marcos, what's that meme? What's that meme? It's I'm tired of being horny.
oh, it's one of the beans. I will say, oh,
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to be horny anymore. I want to be happy.
And then you put,
Or someone saying, hey, how's your day going? Oh, it's bad. And it's like, oh, what's wrong? Oh, it was going well.
Horny.
And out of nowhere,
Yeah.
horny. And I'm like, damn, dude, I feel you, dude. I feel you, dog. So one thing I will say though that at least that a lot of people have issues with is just like, dude, OnlyFans made
Oh,
so
yeah.
much
I respect.
money with
I
adult
respect
content.
the hustle. I respect the hustle.
Yeah, but they want to get rid of it. I don't know. That's the same thing happened with Tumblr. Now Tumblr's a shell of itself. It's still active. It's still got fire memes and good art. But that's only like for niche people. Obviously, a lot of people want to.
Twitter.
Twitter's basically
Yeah.
porn, dude. I think like there's a limit on how long a video can be, but
But
like,
it doesn't stop you
like,
from uploading
you
multiple
can-
videos.
Not only that, like you can make a separate account on Twitter and seamlessly just go from one account to another. It's like, hey, just like I'm just scrolling through Twitter and out of nowhere,
Yeah.
horny, and then you just go. And
I
just-
can't
just
browse my
go to the
Twitter in
account, start
public
scrolling, and,
ever. Like, I'll be in my room, everything's fine. It might as well be a Christian server, and then all of a sudden I'm in middle of like a fucking like in the middle of like in the bus or something, and then all of a sudden just asshole, titties, vagina, penis, cock, like balls everywhere. It's like, what the fuck? No, I swear I'm not that much of a degenerate. I swear.
It's much like that stereotype where you're just watching a random anime that it's pretty simple, pretty wholesome, and out of nowhere a random lewd moment pops up, and then immediately someone just walks into your room. And they're like, okay, bye. Or when you say something embarrassing in the crowd of people, and at that moment where you say something embarrassing, everyone just stops
hears you.
talking. It goes dead silent, and hears you, and you're like, oh. I forgot there was a name for that phenomenon, where things just end up not going your way. Like the worst possible situation actually does happen, even though contrary to statistics, it shouldn't happen. Like, what are the chances of like someone walking in on you when you're watching a wholesome anime or something wholesome, and then a innuendo pops around or something lewd comes around?
Yeah,
and like,
it's
oh,
always
and then
at that
someone just walks
perfect
in. Like,
moment, man. It's
statistically
always at
speaking,
that
that's just-
perfect moment. It's like, wait a minute, what are you watching?
Exactly. So
I know
yeah,
that the
who
term
cares,
is
honestly?
that if something bad could happen, the absolute worst will happen. I don't know what's the.
Oh, right.
But Marcos,
Right.
you're asking earlier about what was a movement that like someone making a speech at a famous Congress
At
location.
Congress?
Well,
Or, yeah.
there was one. There was our boy MLK. His birthday was I think it's coming up tomorrow actually at the time of this recording.
Oh,
Yeah, and
boy.
you know what? Let me set the scene for you guys. I think this is how this played out. All right, you guys, and for you guys listening,
Wait, MLK's
That's on the
birthday
28th.
is in
No,
January, dude.
it's on the 28th of August.
Oh yeah, the Fortnite
No.
thing's so stupid.
Oh,
I
right,
checked
right.
it
No,
last
you're
night.
right.
I was
I'm
double checking.
thinking of.
Because I was wondering, like, why in the middle of August?
I'm
Because I know
checking
that
MLK,
whatever.
yeah.
So anyway, so I feel like what happened was someone in Time magazine, because someone in Time was like, you know what, MLK's birthday's coming up. We got to respect this guy's legacy. He did so much. We got to make it, memorialized. We got to make sure that this guy is always going to be remembered. All right. So they sit down with all these people in this
Wait.
boardroom, right? They're like,
Wait, before you continue, I need you to send me a
Oh,
link
no.
of where you
Yeah,
saw this.
no, I
I'm
saw
seeing
it, though. I
January
mean-
15th.
I saw it.
I don't know. But all right, go on,
that's
Daniel.
fine.
I'm sorry.
What was the saying? Shit. Yeah. So I feel like what happened was that everybody was sitting around and they're like, hey, what are we gonna do? We gotta celebrate the March at Washington. That shit was very memorable, and I think a lot of kids don't take the appreciation of that, maybe because they're not in school anymore and blah 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 blah. All right. So what the kids like? Fortnite. What the fuck are we gonna do? We're gonna make a Fortnite MLK event. And holy shit, man! It was. I remembered waking up the other day, rolling over my bed. I'm half asleep. My eyes are barely working. I'm reading this, and I'm like, "Wait, is MLK getting a PlayStation game? What the fuck is going on?" And then later, I found out, like, oh, they're doing an event where you could go completely dressed up as whatever character skin you have, from fucking Joker to Thanos, and fucking be at the march at Washington. I wish I could make this shit.
Oh yeah,
up,
you
'cause
could be
it's something
Kratos
I
and
would
Master
do.
Chief as well, man.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, I can't wait to write this in the history books. So it's just like, oh, ways that this was memorized in the 2021
Harley Quinn,
Epic Games
Master
releases
Chief.
MLK event. Did you know when JFK signed that bill, he did the Fortnite dance? That's where the dance
Bro.
came from. Victory
Then he got
Royale,
sniped.
racism, fuck
Yo,
you.
sad face.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure his birthday's on the 15th. I think you're thinking about the original Martin Luther King, where he's like, "Hey, Catholic Church, shut up," and then he basically did his own
okay.
thing. But
So other gaming news.
anyways, when
Oh,
it comes
okay.
to that in Fortnite, wait, hold up. But with Fortnite, honestly, I'm glad that they're showing like American history in whichever way they can. Because honestly, although MLK is a beast, and he's obviously his there's some things I didn't like about him when it comes to like riot is sort of necessary, but I can also agree with it when it comes to people who are oppressed. Like honestly, he's a boss, and how he went out was probably a government plan. But to tell you the truth, this being Fortnite and people going in with what was it, with whatever skins and whatever emotes they want, to the point where Epic basically disables, quote unquote,
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck you think was going to happen?
Emotes,
It's the
emotes.
internet. Like, yeah, no shit, people are going to try to make this shit offensive.
Oh,
That's
of
fucking
course.
stupid.
So, oh my
Yeah.
god, like, I just think it's so ridiculous that they're doing everything in Fortnite now.
I just think it was just like good intentions, but it's just they underwhelmed it. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, no fucking shit. It's the same game where you can play as fucking Thanos twerking all over the fucking
Bro,
state
the fact that
monuments. Like, no
Thanos can
fucking
twerk.
shit. That's gonna be. That's gonna be hilarious, and with that, that's also mean Master Chief can do it. So that makes it even 4 times better. Where do we stop?
I will say though that Fortnite doing that whole Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers thing was such a genius idea that it put not only Fortnite
Can
on the
I
map
just point
as
out
one of
that
the
there's
better
probably going to be Warp Tour
platforms
on freaking on Fortnite at this point?
I mean, shit. They already
They
got
might as well.
They already got the Fortnite burger guy there, so I mean, like, that's gonna be an option.
I'm just saying, like Warp Tour 2022 Fortnite edition, and then it's just gonna be like you can walk around to each stage.
That was an Ariana Grande.
That's what
concert
I'm
not that long
saying.
ago.
That's what I'm saying. Just imagine that, but you have multiple concerts that you can walk around at or walk around to in the game in creative, quote unquote, and watch these bands play simultaneously. And or you can just stand in the middle and listen to all of them all at the same time. I'm just saying.
That's gonna be a headache.
But in other news, so I found out Halo has a very disappointing feature that they've added.
what co-op
Well,
mode,
no,
campaign?
that's omitted from release, and so is Forge. RIP.
Yeah, I know.
But
I'm I'm so happy.
Okay.
Turns out that multiplayer, the only way to get XP during multiplayer is to complete challenges, not complete games. Yep.
What the
Yep.
fuck?
What?
Stipulation.
Are you sure?
Yes, it is all over Twitter right now. You can totally look it up.
Ew.
Okay, well, I don't play much of Halo. Don't you have to unlock shit while you're
Yeah,
playing
so
the
they
game?
added a battle pass, just like Modern Warfare and
Yeah.
all these other games. And it's,
Oh,
but
so-
no, it's a
Yeah, but
paid
it's
battle
free,
pass. But
isn't
once
it?
you unlock it,
They said they weren't gonna do that. Oh
Well,
no.
Guess Infinite's probably going down.
no,
Shit.
it's free to play, so it's gonna be all
Yeah,
cosmetics.
right. No one's gonna download it.
Well, I already have mine pre-downloaded, and apparently you can already preload. It's only 280 megabytes, but you can quote unquote preload the game. Anyways,
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of games die even when
I
they're
just-
free to play.
so like
That's true.
I'm kind of astonished by it because it's like the core mechanic of leveling up your battle pass is with XP. The only way to get XP, you need to do these gay ass challenges. So it's like, wait a minute. You need to complete 17 games before you can get 100 XP. Or hey, you need to kill 50 people. Here's another 100 XP. Like it's gonna be a grind. A grind.
So expect every lobby you join is just people doing the challenges.
Yeah,
not actually
exactly.
playing the
That's
games.
well.
That's
I
gonna be
think
fun for-
I think what their intentions are is to get people to play other game modes other than just one game mode. It's to get everybody to like spread out across the game. So like, let's say you have to play capture the flag challenge. The neat thing about it is if like you can't or you don't want to complete a challenge, you can swap challenges out, which is nice.
Oh, so like swap.
Yeah,
swappable
but
dailies
you only
like
have a
Call of
limited
Duty has.
number.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, just like Call of Duty. It's just, dude, honestly, they did say they were going to have a free battle pass or something like along those lines, and now they're going back on it. And like, sure, I don't care.
I mean,
don't
the
mind
nice way that they're
that
doing
battle
it is
pass.
that they're making it to where it's available, across the lifespan of the game, starting from season 0 on.
I guess. But it's just going back on their word, because honestly,
Yeah.
having a battle pass where it's free, that's cool. Or, hear me out, right? So one thing I've always liked about some battle passes, obviously, a good amount of them don't, but I'll be quick on this, where you'll get, obviously, free content, a good amount of it, but if you buy the battle pass, you'll get even more content, where it's just aesthetics and stuff. But to answer your question, Daniel, Halo, for the most part, when it comes to leveling up your character, you never really had that much of incentive to level up unless you wanted to customize how you looked, and that was the biggest thing. Basically, a flex and completing challenges to wear certain helmets, to have like different armor pieces. It was basically to flex. That's basically what it came to leveling up. You didn't gain new weapons, new perks. There was nothing. You just got it just to flex, and I like that concept. I really do. But them adding all this now, I don't know, man. Doing challenges like that to level up, like, I get it, but what's the point of me getting what was it, like 5
Yeah.
quadra kills back to back if I won't get the efficient, like the
And
the
you know what
equivalent
really
XP
sucks is
return.
like when you
So,
activate double
it's-
XP, it only activates for that certain amount of time. Even between games, it counts down. So like they gave us double XP tokens, kind of like how in Modern Warfare where it keeps going. I just hope that the campaign is worth the $60. I'm gonna play it first, and like I said, if I really like the game, I will buy it. Like to support.
Oh right, it's only the multiplayer.
No,
that's on
the
Game Pass,
campaign's
right?
going to be on Game Pass. But what I'm saying is that if the game's good enough, I'm going to support 343 and say, hey, I'm voting with my wallet, saying, hey, I really enjoy this game. Here's my money.
I guess I just that sucks. Although I'm pretty sure the game's still gonna be great. It's just I feel like the progression is gonna be super slow now, because now we gotta complete challenges. But I don't know. Obviously, you'll get EXP for every little thing you do in every other game. I'm pretty sure Battlefield 2042 is gonna have that, where you'll get EXP for every little small thing you do. Like, hey, like in Call of Duty, destroy a landmine, right, or a claymore. You'll get like 25 EXP just for that. So all I'm saying is that it's something that I have to try out. I might not be a fan of it now, but unless they give you like random
Yeah,
stuff,
so
hey,
like
get a kill
during
in
the
one match.
tech preview, it was like complete one game, and then it said complete 2 games, complete 3 games, complete 4 games, complete 5 games, complete 6 games, and then it would reset back to complete 1 game.
Here's my only counter, and this is only for the casuals and not the hardcore players. Imagine, on average, this is why I kind of like the Halo Reach, where you get like a random like EXP at the end once you load it back into the lobby. You know how they give you like anywhere between 100 to 1,000 EXP. You know, like it's just random. I don't know if you remember that, Kenny. Where once you complete an online match, it gives you random EXP for completing the match.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay. So imagine you're a bad player and you'll only get like 2 kills a game, and you're just learning the ropes, right? Getting 2 kills obviously and you're constantly feeding, is not gonna give you a lot of EXP. But if you get 1,000 EXP every time you complete a match, well, you know, that's very inclusive. But I just hope it's not as bad as it
Right.
as it sounds. But yeah,
Right.
that's all I have to say about it.
I'll just wait until the multiplayer and see where we go from there. But I think we should just go and wrap there, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty then. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching and listening to the DKM podcast. As you guys know, you can subscribe to us and watch us here on YouTube, listen to us on Spotify, Anchor, anywhere, or Google Podcasts, or anywhere where your streaming services allows podcast listening experiences. If you haven't yet, please follow us on Twitter at DKM Podcast. And if you haven't yet, please join our Discord server. We have the link right below in the description in whatever site you're watching this from. And we would love to have you on as board. And, you know, you could engage with the community and see how we could maybe use you along and see how we can maybe do some fun events, or maybe have some nice guest suggestions and things like that. Whatever you feel like it, just come along and join the community. But with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, folks. You guys have a good night. Stay safe and take care, and see you next time.